Hey guys, so in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make this really chic bow ring, and it looks like this. So it's really like kind of like a freeform thing, but I really like this, and I just found this idea, and I found this idea from um, just like some website. It wasn't my original idea, but I really think that it's a pretty ring, and it's really simple to make. So you're gonna need some wire, and I use two different colors, but you can use however many colors you want. Sorry about that. So I use silver for like the little tie, and then black for the actual like ribbon, I guess. So you're gonna either need like a ring sizer or something that's the size of your finger. So you could take a ring that you already have, like I have, and I just slid it on. So this is another bow ring that I already have. So you can slide that onto something. So I found this a marker, and it fits perfectly. So you can use marker, nail polish, cap, mascara, something. So you're gonna need these wires, and I'm using this one, which is a little thicker than this one. You can just tell that their thicknesses are different. Let me try and focus. So the thicknesses are different. So the first thing that you're going to do is take around 2 inches and measure that out. So I'm using my ruler and just measuring 2 inches, and then that's where you're going to start your bow ring on. So I'm going to take this and start right where I like made my mark kind of, and go go one time around. And you just want to wrap it pretty tightly one time around. So you kind of make like that shape. So there's the 2 inches that you already cut. I cannot get the camera to focus right now. So this is the 2 inches that you already cut, and this is the rest of the wire. And then you're going to cut 2 inches off the other side. And these are going to be your loops. So I'm just cutting that. Okay, so now you can kind of make it a little bit tighter on your thing, so just so that way it's the right size. And it appears I've made this one a little too short. Yeah, I only made that like 1.5 by accident. Anyway, so then you're going to start bending it, and you want to bend this one, so you bend it back, and then over. So this is kind of like a pretzel shape. So it's going to go back. Here, I'm going to face the camera a different way. So it's going to go back and over like that. So all I did is I bent it back, and then I flipped it over. And then you're going to want to push that up so that way it's facing the other way. And then you're going to do the same thing with the other side. And it's important that you make it even, so that way it looks like a nice even bow. So it's kind of like making a pretzel shape, kind of like that, except you're going to pull it a little bit tighter. And I would recommend actually cutting around 3 inches for your bow, unless you want a smaller bow. Like this one's going to end up being pretty small. And it looks kind of weird right now, but I swear it'll look better. See, this one I cut more, so that one's going to probably be a bigger bow. So I suggest cutting 3 inches, not 2. Even if you end up cutting some off, it's better to be safe than sorry, because then you'll end up wasting all of it if you don't like how it turns out. So I'm just moving that back, and then you really just want to play with it until you really like how it looks. I'm doing this so that way I have a second ring, because they'll be different. Okay, so now you can see that the little bottoms are different sizes. So I'm going to cut them so that way they're even. And now what you're going to do is take your other color, or whatever other one that's pretty thin. It can be the same one, but I noticed that the thick one doesn't really work very well. So now I'm going to take this and start wrapping it around. And sorry if there's any background noises. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I can. So you're just going to start pushing this so as you can see, so I took this and I bent it a little bit, and then I stuck it under, and then I'm gonna start pushing this, if you can see that. So this is like from the side, so I'm pushing this here so that way it can go in a full circle while you hold that one in place. It can take a while. Okay, so push that through there, and then you pull it all the way through so it makes one nice loop, like right in the middle, if you can see that. So I'm just going to do that a few times. So you just do the same thing where you push it through, and you might malform your bow, so try and be careful. You can always like reform it if it gets messed up. It's not that hard to reform it, and it shouldn't get too out of place. So I'm just pushing it through the loop in the ring part where your finger is going to go. And once you do that a few times, you can cut it. And the important part of this is that you sand it down so that way you don't cut yourself on the rough edges. So I'm cutting that off, and then I'm cutting the top off. That's another thing. You don't want to have that, like, if you can see that little back piece is sticking up, you don't want that. You want it to be cut. And then you take some sandpaper, which mine is away, but you take the sandpaper and you just sand it a bit so that way it's not in your way. And then the final step is to reform it so that way it's not completely malformed. And then you wear it to make sure it fits, and then you have your bow ring. So thanks for watching this video. Bye guys.